Hi guys, I know it's been a while. Mercury Retrograde honestly got the better of me. I'm not gonna lie, there's nothing to hide. It was a lot more intense than I was expecting. Like, I was preparing for it, but it still got the better of me. And honestly, it was for the best because it really needed to do a lot more shadow work, and I wasn't, like, I don't know, I was just kind of like putting all that all to the side, so I, wasn't actually working on it. It's funny, the trash guy just showed up as I'm talking about that. Anyway, so obviously you're here for the same reason I'm filming this, because Mercury Retrograde is over and we've done a little bit of our shadow work, because that's honestly, like, I know Mercury retrograde is depressing and shit, but it's really essential to go through the, depressive stages of your life and to really feel yourself and understand what you're feeling, and, where there's, issues, or maybe not issues, but things that aren't really going right in your life. Because let's be honest, like, I don't know. I don't really believe in issues. I mean, yeah, there's, like, toxic traits that we carry and stuff, but, like, life is life, and there's gonna be ups and downs no matter what. And I want to be honest, too, like, I really, like, I'm trying to keep myself from having, like, a god complex, like, filming these videos for y'all, because I don't want to tell y'all how to live life and, like, give y'all some, like, magical idea of life that doesn't exist. Like, because honestly, like, at the end of the day, like, I try to say this as much as I can, but I probably don't say it often enough, that life is all about perspective. And, like, you're going to put yourself on a path, like, by your own choices. So, like, if you continue to surround yourself with toxicity and toxic traits and just feed your mind with all this toxicity, it's going to make that stronger in the world and in also your own universe and in your own mind. So it's dangerous to do that. And that's also why I have this perspective that I do have, where it's like, I don't want to give you a god complex, but if you follow this stuff, like, a lot of the things in your life will start to make a lot more sense. And it's just, I learned this from experience, so I mean, maybe it might not work for you. I'm not really, I can't guarantee anything, because again, it's going to be about perspective and how you view your own life, because there's so many opportunities in the world. And I've honestly found that out recently by not taking those opportunities, and by taking them, because, life is always about risk, and it's always about opportunity, and, you're never really going to have, like, a path written out completely for you, but in a way that it is also written for you at the same time. It's kind of like the whole dimensional experience, like, where we have all these doors and stuff where things are written, right? Like, we like pre-wrote all of this stuff, but we also gave ourselves a bunch of different pathways and doorways to open up, so we'd have choices and opportunities and things to do in our life. And, life is it's a simulation, and when you look at that type of view in life, it can be really fucking scary. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it can be really fucking scary, it can be really overwhelming, that there's no real point to life, and it can have you, like, kind of looking at yourself in a different view, like you've been chasing things that don't really matter, you've been running away from things that do matter, and it can really slap you in the face. So I try to be as honest with alchemy as possible and self-healing, because, you're always going to get to this point, like this height in alchemy, and then you're going to get slapped right back down because of ego. And that's just life, period, because we're all here connected. Like, because I've done this with my Mercury retrograde, and I'm almost certain that it was very important for my growth, is the separation anxiety that you can get from spirituality. Like, if you put yourself on this, like, God complex, this God pedestal or whatever, you're going to separate yourself from the entire world, and you're not going to respect the things, the flow of life, which is life and death, and opportunity and sacrifice. So there's a lot of things in this world that us as humans aren't necessarily completely designed to just choke up, but we are able to through growth and experience and opportunity. And I know it's really hard, but we're kind of born pure. Like if you look at a baby and you know think about how pure their mindset is, and they have no real concept of like the world and how it operates and what's going on inside of it, and they're so innocent and sweet, and it's like it's almost, I don't know, it's really beautiful, and almost it can be, I don't want to say sad, but it can be a little intense to really grasp and understand that there's going to be a whole world in front of that person that they aren't prepared for yet because they're babies. They've just been born. So it's like your responsibility and, you know, your duty as a human to teach other people and teach a new life about goals and opportunity and sacrifice and health and risk and all of this stuff. It's very overwhelming as a human to have this sort of mindset where we need to be responsible creatures and take authority and responsibility for our own actions and for other people's actions in to a point, because we're all here connected, and we do have a responsibility to teach others, because that's just how life flows, is by teaching others. And you can do that in a way that's not a kind of like a god complex, where you're kind of teaching through experience. You're not teaching by authority, and that takes real leadership. And leadership is a skill that is not made for absolutely everyone. Everyone's kind of born with their own skill set, and I honestly believe that we're kind of born with the traits and opportunities that we give ourselves because of the universe's connection. I don't completely understand it though, so don't quote me on that. That's just my belief. But, you know, my point is in saying all of this is that, you know, alchemy, self-healing, it can all be really overwhelming, because when you do a lot of your shadow work, you understand what the word universe really means, and it's that, you know, you in body and spirit are connected to this world and have full responsibility of creating it in a higher sense, like before all of this happened. It's really crazy to understand. It's almost impossible to understand, and I believe that it's impossible to understand completely for a reason, and that's through ego and ego dissolution and universe connectivity and all of that sort of thing. But I don't really understand it completely yet. I don't know if I ever will. But it's like, but the truth with alchemy and healing is, you know, we've always been our own destruction, and we've always been there consuming our own life by the choices that we made, and that can be really scary as well, to understand and realize that you had authority over your entire life, and sometimes things just happen to and through you for teaching opportunities, learning opportunities. And it's such a strange concept to understand that we're all God, we're all connected, and we're all the same creature, which is essentially just energy in a holographic type of world sort of thing. Is I guess a good way to view this is the world isn't flat, it's not round, it's a mirror. It's a mirror that's created to teach you about yourself through the people around you. And that can be really scary to understand, that you're here looking at all these other people living life and stuff, and you're not here to copy, you're not here to be somebody else, you're here to learn from somebody else how to be yourself. That can be really weird and confusing, because what is self if you're not somebody else? If you're learning through people, it's weird, it's hard to understand, it's a hard concept, it really is. But if you try to take a bigger picture of all of it, you'll see that everything is connected, and that you don't have full responsibility over the world's actions, but you have full responsibility over your own actions. So I guess the best way to really view it is to see the world as like a temple. No, wait, that's a terrible way to view it. Don't see the world as a temple, because then you're going to put yourself on this pedestal. View your body, yes, your meat flesh prison, as a temple, right? Like, there's this foundation right here that has all these viewpoints and experiences, like this really, like the stuff that you don't really have control over is very like archaic, like the world, money systems, laws, other people's perspectives of you, and like the structure of society, and the things that happen within society, things that you don't have control over. That's like the foundation, and then you build up from there, from your experiences, and you start to work on yourself and learn more about yourself and what your likes and dislikes are, what type of people are there for you and what type of people aren't there for you. And then you work your way higher than that, and you understand that you don't have any control over those people. You won't ever be able to change those people. The only thing that you can change is yourself, and changing the environment around you. So that can be, it's a higher responsibility to change your environment and change yourself, because that takes money, that takes time, and that takes energy. And it can be overwhelming to understand that you need to work on that. It takes time to work towards that goal. It's a goal. So remember that. That's why we're getting higher and higher on the pyramid. And then at the top is your mental health, your stability, your money, your family, your foundations and stuff. These are things that are really hard to work on, really hard to work for, but they're very important. And your health, your wealth, all of that, let's just make that the top, right? Because that's the really important stuff that makes you who you are. We don't want that to be true, like our family and stuff. And let's be real too, because family, we're talking about family, spirit family, not blood family, okay? Like spirit family, like your friends and your family members and stuff that actually teach you really important lessons about life, and that are really there for your grounding and your support system. Nobody should be like your energy source, but you definitely need to understand gratitude and respect that, even though the people might not be perfect in your life, nobody's perfect, neither are you. You have to accept that and understand that. But those things are important, and if you don't understand and respect the people that are there for you and are actually important to your growth and development, then you're gonna lose a lot more than what you gained. So just, there's really important things to alchemy is to understand all of these things, because alchemy, there's like, I love alchemy, I really do, but like the whole crystal thing, the whole energy pyramids, all of that stuff's really cool, it's really great and stuff, but it really doesn't talk about the important things, which is, you know, really understanding self and taking care of your inner world and your outer world. So that takes a lot of self-responsibility. Self-responsibility is really demanding. Like, don't lie to yourself. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, self-responsibility is demanding. It takes time, it takes self-discipline, it takes commitment, and you may not be at a solid foundation. Like, I'm currently living back in my dad's house, and my car's been falling apart. Don't really have a job, and it's been really hard looking for a job. So, like, I'm working towards things. And so sometimes my mental health will get the better of me because I'm not where I want to be. And that's something I really have to come to terms with and understand, is that I put myself in this position, but it's also an opportunity for me to grow. Because where I was before, I wasn't happy. I was married for 6 months. I was living up in Portland, a big city. I had a job where I thought I was helping the world by helping legalize psilocybin therapy and decriminalizing drug use and stuff up in Portland. I thought that was really great, and I was making good money doing it. And honestly, it didn't give me a god complex, but it made me really happy about helping the world. But at the same time, it really destroyed a lot of me. So I think what I gotta understand is putting too much pressure on myself about wanting to help the world is where I'm going wrong. Because I can't help the world if I don't help self. Because self comes first. Like, we wouldn't be given these individual bodies if self wasn't important, because, you know, we're here to experience the human experience as self. So, we're all energy, and we're not really here, but we are here at the same time, so we have to understand both worlds, and that can be really confusing, and it's not for everybody. So, you know, if you pick up alchemy, you have to understand that there's a lot of really dark shit to it, like the whole yin and yang thing. Like, it sounds really cute, it sounds really simple, but it really fucking isn't. You really gotta understand life and death. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to say that you can't do it, because you can. You totally can. But you're going to put yourself through a lot doing it. Like, just be real with yourself and what you're getting yourself into. But when you do it, it's like, I swear, it's like the purpose of life almost, is to just do it, because you'll feel so much better about yourself. You'll start taking care of yourself. You'll eat better food. You'll surround yourself with better people. You'll learn how to put energy boundaries around the people that you do want to have in your life that aren't necessarily good for your self-growth, but you still love them. So you can do that, and you'll have more goals and opportunities for yourself as far as money. Like, maybe like doing your own business and all that sort of thing is a little bit too much work, because that is a lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility. And if it's not something that's made for you, then it, you know, understand that, and don't feel bad because you don't have like a business going. Because, bro, that takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of pressure to build up and work towards. So be realistic with yourself through alchemy, because, you know, like, money doesn't just fall from the sky when you do these affirmations and abundance rituals. Like, it comes through practicality, it comes through dimensions and doors opening. So, like you'll ask for, you know, a discount on something, and like a couple days later you're gonna find like a coupon for something. Like, but unless you understand that, alchemy won't be real for you, and or it will be too real for you, and you'll have these really crazy like expectations for like superpowers and shit. That's not gonna happen, because nobody in this world deserves the superpowers. I don't care if you are God, you don't deserve superpowers. That's not what life's about. It's about living. And in all honesty, you're gonna have to use your experience to understand what you like, what you dislike, and who you are. So, you know, take time to be away from people, but also submerge yourself in people. Take time to be around your family, take time to be away from your family, be around your animals, love and support your animals, and take responsibility, you know, for your health and for your animals' health, for your plants' health, for your life's health. Because that's what this is. We're energy transmuters. Like, even if you don't believe in alchemy, even if you aren't considering yourself an alchemist, you just are. We're energy holograms, period. Like, you're transmuting energy in a way you don't understand. So, like, if you try to understand it, you'll be a lot better at it, and you'll take much more responsibility and have much more intent for your life. So that's just why I do encourage you to also try alchemy. Like, real alchemy, though. Not that superficial stuff where people lie to you. I don't think that's true, though. Haven't seen too many people lie about alchemy, because usually alchemists, like the people that awakened to spirituality kind of earlier on during all this crazy stuff going on, like, usually they come from darker paths and have learned a lot from their darker experiences about what they are and where we are. So just kind of try to pick up on people's vibe, pick up on their vibe. Sorry, lost some space on my phone. But yeah, but just pick up on, like, their energy, their vibe. If you don't really match with them, just understand that, you know, whatever they're saying doesn't make sense. So just go to something else that does make sense to you. You know, like, okay, so I think, because this is, if we're gonna be real with how energy works, because this will actually probably open your eyes to it too, because it opened my eyes to it. If you, like, set the intention with the universe that you want to learn alchemy, and you want to learn it at, like, your own pace, and you want some doors to be opened for you, then ask the universe and set some intention through affirmations, spell jars, and just maybe doing energy grid work. Now, I say this too, I swear, I gotta say this because I do this all the time. I go back on my words because a lot of things isn't... Okay, try to explain this a little bit better so it makes more sense, so I'm not just going back on my words. Energy transmutation has to do with your brain and setting intentions with your brain, but the physical reality helps. There are a lot of intentions set in crystals and stuff. All of this stuff does have intention because it comes from the earth, and it has had, like, energy surrounded with it, whether it be good energy or bad energy. If you charge your own crystals, or you just kind of grab them and let them charge themselves, it's like witchcraft and alchemy. It's all about how you make it. It's just your brain and your belief system, really. When you believe in something stronger, and this is why, if you really follow some of my other teachings and stuff, like some of my first videos is about... By the way, if you don't follow and subscribe me, go ahead and do that, because I got a lot of really good content surrounding alchemy and stuff if you want to learn more about it. But like, I have a video about how all religions are based on astrology, which is pseudoscience. So it's like, if you start to understand that a lot of our teachings and stuff comes from us just staring at the stars and making stories out of what we see, our perception, then you'll understand a little bit on a metaphorical plane, at least, how alchemy and energy works. Like, you transmute it through your understanding and through your intentions. When you set intention with your mind and your brain, you can transmute this energy into something better, something that's a tool, something that's strength, and you can learn from your use it as an opportunity to learn. So it's really about setting intention too. So, like, if you believe that a selenite crystal will clear out bad intentions and bad energy, then you believe it. Like, seriously, like, believe it, because it's real and it helps your intention. And that's why witchcraft is really kind of all over the place too. Like, there's different types of witches. You use witchcraft however you want. Like, if you don't have a bunch of money to spend on herbs and stuff, just do affirmations with paper and burn your paper and stuff and set intentions that way. There's all kinds of different ways to use magic, use alchemy, and use your intention. So if you want to see it on a metaphysical plane, view it on a metaphysical plane, it'll make more sense to you that way. If you want to view it on a physical plane where you're setting intentions for your goals and your health and all of that, and that makes more sense for you, then do that. And, you know, if there's some other way that you view all of this, then you view it that way, and that will help you. But you will understand the world the way you understand the world, and let it make sense to you that way. Like, energy is flowing. Like, don't force things, because if you force things, you're gonna just be chaotic like I was. Because that's what happened to me. I was, like, forcing everything, and then I finally just was like, you know what? Tap out, I surrender. I'm just gonna let y'all do your thing with me, and I'm just gonna learn. Because I kept trying to force it, and then I was just like, you know, jumping around all over the place. I was like depressed, I was chaotic, I was kind of destroying my life and letting other people take responsibility for me, which was shitty to do. So understand yourself, understand what your feelings are, where your emotions come from, and who people are in your life, and what you're doing to yourself. Taking self-responsibility is the biggest step in alchemy. It's the hardest step, taking self-responsibility. It's really overwhelming. You can think that it's not, you can believe that it's not, but I don't think you're being real with yourself. Because if you're real about self-responsibility, you're understanding that, you know, self-love doesn't just come from, you know, letting your body get overweight. I mean, yeah, you should be happy with your body, totally. I totally believe you should be happy with yourself. But you have to be real with yourself. If you're doing things that are damaging and toxic, it's like truth or consequences is the biggest thing, the hardest thing that I had to learn. Like, we're here in a truthful world, a metaphysical realm that is like a mirror. So if we eat chocolate and we eat fat cakes all day, we're gonna get fat. That's the truth of our reality. And if we get fat, we're gonna be tired, we're not gonna want to do things. And sure, we can find other things to do, that's totally true. But you have to be real with yourself. Like, these things you're gonna face, period. So take responsibility and understand yourself and where your happiness comes from. Because also, happiness doesn't come from just being healthy and you know, at a good weight. Because that also isn't healthy. But I mean, happiness. But you can use your healthiness to do more activities. And in a sense that, and in that understanding, you will understand that you'll have opportunities to do more with your life. You see what I mean? It's not just about being healthy. Healthiness isn't going to make you happy, but it's a step towards your happiness. So, in all honesty, the real way to be happy is to create it. I think I have a whole video about that too, is creating your own happiness. I think that's what it was called. It might have a different title. It's something about happiness though, creating happiness. But that's my point, is as God's self and being the temple, you have to take care of the temple because you're God in your human body. And you're taking self-responsibility for your, you know, yourself and the things around you, the people and animals and things that you've chosen to take responsibility for. You know, that stuff is your temple. So you take care of your temple, and more energy will come towards it, more positive vibrations will come towards it. And you destroy your temple, and then toxic things will come around your temple and be surrounding you. So just try to view it that way. I'm sure there's a lot more I could probably fit into this video, but I'm getting to, I don't know, like the 20 or 30 more minute mark. I don't want to make this video too long. But yeah, so doing things that are positive will raise your vibration. Doing things that are negative will lower your vibration. Just you have to view it that way. And even if it makes simple sense to you, trust me, you don't really understand it. Because I thought I did until I did more Mercury Retrograde and learned the hard way. So, just be real with yourself. There's a lot. This world is our reality. It's where we are. It's where we're going to be, and it's where we make our life and our future. So, don't just let the world swallow you up. Take control over your own world and your own energy, and you'll feel so much more empowered. I promise. Like, you're never going to have control over the world, and you shouldn't ever want that, because that's going to be really bad for your mental health, is wanting to fix all the problems in the world. That's really bad for your mental health. Trust me, I know that you want to, because trust me, I wish the world was a lot better too, or whatever that means. I just wish it, I don't know, maybe it was a little easier. At the same time, I don't, because then it would be really boring and unsatisfying, and you wouldn't really have anything to work up towards. So I don't know, it's hard to say, but I like the world the way it is. The dark sides and the good sides, because it's opportunity to experience everything. So yeah, it's always gonna be about perspective, I guess. So like, take time out of your day to understand what your perspective is and try to change that, because I had a bad perspective on life before, and it's starting to really come around. I hope it stays this way. I'm gonna make it stay this way as much as possible, because I'm tired of going down the self-destructive path. There's no real point to it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope it helps you on your path. It gives you a much clearer idea of what alchemy really is, and not just like the pretty side to it, because there's dark sides to everything. We're in the universe, right? Let's not forget about that. There's good sides and bad sides to this duality illusion. But it's here for a reason. It's here to teach us about ourselves and who we can be for ourselves and for the other people in our life. So, love you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it helps you out. Helps you figure something out. And peace. Boy.